The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, but I think everybody has these, I don't want to hear that, I want to shut down speech, I don't like thing.
Right, but
there are some people that are really consistent about it. I like to think I am.
But only social media companies have the power to decide whether or not a person gets to express themselves to an unlimited amount of people.
Well,
like
it's an
that.
interesting.
And if you tell them that based on your ideology, which most people don't agree with, based on your ideology, they have said enough that something that merits you taking away their ability to express themselves, then I think you open up a real discussion, much like the Second Amendment discussion about the First Amendment. That what are we doing here? What is this, and what is free speech, and is this a town hall? And Jack Dorsey from Twitter believes it's a town hall. He thinks everyone should have the ability to express themselves, but that, like everything, is fucking complicated and messy.
It certainly is. Nadine Strawson, who I think used to be something at the ACLU, wrote a book about speech and about how in Germany you're not allowed to fly the swastika, and they have censorship on speech.
Yeah.
And that it's not effective for any of the outcomes that it's intended for.
They also make a lot of shit porn.
Is that right?
Germany.
The Germans do?
Yeah, they like that.
Is there any you wanted to plug, or?
I don't think I know any names, but for whatever reason, a lot of shit.
That's a thing?
Shit porn.
That's not a thing. I try to be very open-minded, but I don't understand. I'm not going to.
You don't have to understand it.
You know, I don't.
But you allow people to do it, right?
I would never allow people to think about. Of course, yeah. That's
a weird one, right?
A weird. It's
people want shit in people's mouths and smother themselves in shit and have sex with each other.
My instant reaction is, what went on? What's that about?
Oh, hell yeah!
Where's that? I want that story.
Yeah.
I want that script. How do you get to that? That sounds very abusive, and it sounds
for
like
sure.
It's a tough thing to talk. But no, the idea of censoring speech, it backfires.
It's just not healthy.
But I think people should be generally sensitive and not assholes at the same time.
But it's also the thing about someone saying something in print that you read on Twitter. It's like you can't even say anything back to them.
You make that
You can
argument,
make your own comment, but you're like, fuck, this is such a shitty way to talk.
It's poison.
Yeah, it's a shitty way to communicate.
Yeah.
I don't engage in it anymore. I'll post things up that I think are interesting.
How did you evolve on it?
Just decided it's not like these arguments are not, they make you riled up. They're not healthy. They're not.
I told my daughter, hold on, I'm arguing with someone on Twitter. Said it out loud, and I was like, oh, I'm the shittiest.
Yeah.
That's the shittiest thing that I could be doing.
I just think
right
it's
now.
also unmanageable when you get to a certain number of followers.
Yeah.
You just can't.
There's
no way you can. And it's also people are just like, they're fucking in their cubicle. They're just trying to get a rise out of people. They're angry. They're bored. You can't expect that everybody's existing in the same vibration that you are.
I woke up to a tweet that said, you're a pitiful person. I was like, oh.
Don't read that.
Good morning.
Bro, you're not. That guy's a liar.
No, I'm not.
Doesn't even know you. That's the thing.
It doesn't faze me at all, but it
shouldn't.
It doesn't. It is fascinating that someone would write such a thing.
It is, but it isn't.
I'll click on him and be like, I wonder what his deal is.
Oh.
Clearly he's projecting. And I'm worried about, I wonder what happened to that guy. And then you look at their picture and then you decide everything about their life. Do you ever look, like, this is another reason I can't run for Congress, I think. Like, I want to keep doing stand-up and I want to talk about things like, you ever look at a guy like the guy I rented the car from yesterday at LAX, I thought about how much he jerks off for a little while.
I never think about that.
I will sometimes look at a guy and be like, I bet that guy is, and good for him and whatever, but that kind of, I don't know why I brought that up.
I'll think about that now. Every person I meet.
Shitting in the mouth, but dude,
I watched a video once of this lady.
No, don't describe it.
Was really into.
She's gonna do it.
Guys shitting in her mouth, and she was speaking in German, and they was translating it to English, and she was talking about all of her experiences and when the first time a guy did it, and what kind of diet she likes a guy to follow when he shits in her mouth. And I'm like, okay, this is not pleasant. I'm not enjoying this, but honestly, and this is like, it's a kind of a dumb thing to talk about, right? But here's why it's not.
Human psychology?
That's a person. That was a baby.
Yes.
You have daughters.
Yes.
I have daughters.
Yes.
That was a baby.
You try not to fuck them up.
All of a sudden, this baby is 50, and she likes guys shitting in her mouth, and she wears like lingerie.
The bar for parenting should be somewhere, around no shitting on other people. Like, then you've succeeded. And
but
by the
what
way,
if you get a lot of money for it? Like Robert, when was that dude's name? Robert Redford, Indecent Proposal with Demi Moore.
$1 million?
Yeah.
I want to put myself out there right now.
Yeah, shit on your chest for $1 million.
Please tweet me.
It's not that long.
How
long can a guy shit on you?
I've got a number. What's your number? What is your number?
Would you rather get shit on slowly every day as a clerk at Dunkin' Donuts, or one giant load on your chest That is like a really rough afternoon. Not even an afternoon. It's like an hour.
Hit me
and
with a
then
giant
you,
load.
You shower up.
I think
you
everybody
go to
says
the
hit me.
bar. Rounds on me, boys. I just became a millionaire. Got your shit on your chest.
It's like you're impending, or it's like saying that it's solid. What if it was like a diarrhea, Chipotle?
You do whatever you got to do. If someone,
a lot of variables.
bro, whatever, let them shit all over you.
All that
Splatter.
salt water.
Just as long as you have goggles on and you get to close your mouth.
There's a lot of things.
Stain.
When those thought experiments come up, I'm always like, you wouldn't kiss a guy? Never. Told my dad this.
For how much money?
I was like, Dad, $1 million bucks.
What if
he
your
goes,
dad?
no. I go, Dad, that's preposterous. That's ridiculous. You got a problem. And then he goes, no, I wouldn't do it. He calls back and he goes, he tells me who he names a guy, an old Italian. He's like, he goes, Paul Sorvino. Okay, that's my answer. $1 million bucks.
He'd make out with Paul Sorvino.
Everybody would. Because what would you do with that money? You could save other people's lives. You got to
Or
do
you
it.
could just buy a fur coat and start balling.
Either way, it's $1 million bucks.
Yeah.
No matter what that
Just
thought experiment
fly
is,
private
you take.
jets until the money runs out.
Well,
Just go everywhere.
I don't know
Party.
if I'd do that.
Well,
But
I wouldn't either, but I also
$1 million
wouldn't
bucks.
make out with Paul Sorvino. We're living in this fantasy world. Why does everything have to be ethical and moral? Just have a good goddamn time. White fur, like snow leopard or some shit. Something exotic.
when you say that, like, what do you mean? Why does everything have to be ethical and moral? Like, you have your moral code.
Yeah, man, but I'm talking about making out with Paul Sorvino for $1 million bucks. That's free money.
Oh
You don't have
yeah,
to do
don't
good
get
with
me
that,
wrong. Oh
You don't have
yeah,
to do
well,
good with that, right? You do
everybody
whatever
should.
you want.
Whoever you want, of
What
course.
if Paul says, listen, you want to make it three? I'll shit right on your head. Just take a big meaty meatball shit.
That's exactly how you imagine it would
Pasta
be.
Vazul right on your fucking head. Bang.
Yeah.
Extra $2. $3 million bucks. You got a bad memory of making out with Paul Sorvino and then him
dude.
shit on your head. But at the end of the day, the guy kept his promise and now you're rich.